Caitlyn Jenner honored with the Arthur Ashe Courage Award at the ESPYs. Did she deserve it? Was it the right choice? Joining me now in the audience, Zoe Tur, pilot and reporter who herself is transgender, and Ben Shapiro, senior editor, Breitbart News, author of Bullies. Ben, did she deserve this award?
For what?
For courageously coming forward, for having been an athlete of great prowess and now fighting a new battle.
What exactly is the battle? I mean, self-definition is what you do, and my baby's doing it at 18 months old. I wasn't aware that you get a medal for it.
Being brave is being yourself, and being transgender is about the bravest thing you can do. Did she deserve the award?
65?
Yes.
Why are we mainstreaming delusion?
It's not delusion.
Why would you call it delusion?
Because Caitlyn Jenner, I'll call him Caitlyn Jenner.
No,
because
it's her. You're not being polite to the pronouns.
Because
disrespectful.
Okay, forget about the disrespect. Facts don't care about your feelings. It turns out that every chromosome, every cell in Caitlyn Jenner's body is male with the exception of some of his sperm cells.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're not educated on genetics.
Would you like to discuss the genetics? Or
no. What are
your genetics?
So let's stay away from the genetics and back to the brain scans.
You cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
Yeah, that seems mildly inappropriate for a political discussion.
But to be fair, you're actually being
Hey, guys.
rude.
You're
and that's not fair.
I'm sorry, it's not rude to say that someone who's biologically a male is a male.
You just
someone
called me
who's
sir.
biologically male is a male.
So are you a feminist?
Of course not.
You're not a feminist. So feminism really is women wanting equal rights to men. So you don't think that you deserve...
There are a lot of different feminists. There are a lot of different... I believe Christina Hofsummers is a feminist who wants equality. I absolutely believe that. I don't think someone like Andrea Dworkin is a feminist who wants equality. I don't think feminists who have been quoted saying we should put men in concentration camps are feminists that want equality. There are different types of feminists.
I don't think there's different types of feminists.
No, so would you say the feminists who say I want equality for both genders and one that says I want women to be superior are the same?
No, they're not feminists.
They're not feminists. Okay, well, I mean, you can say that, but that's the no true Scotsman theory. That's the no true Scotsman fallacy.
I just asked you if you were a feminist and you said no. And
no, I'm not.
I'm a feminist because I believe in equality for men and for women and men and for all genders.
So women and men.
No, all genders.
No, so women and men.
There's
There are
women.
two genders biologically. I'm sorry.
There isn't. There's you're not now you're totally excluding transgender, non-binary, gender fluid people, and yeah, these.
I mean, you can live in your unicorn
I'm
world.
going to assume that you're a cisgender straight woman because you obviously
that's really true.
and that you probably haven't ever been raped. Either.
I actually identify
So
as an attack helicopter, so it's really
to me,
offensive.
You sound like you're speaking from a very privileged point of view here.
Very privileged.
Yes.
I would like you to use my pronouns if you could. They're I, me, and my.
So now you're mocking the LGBTQ community now.
I have lots of LGBTQ friends, and they don't get professionally offended at everything.
Just because you have LGBTQ friends doesn't mean that you're not homophobic or biphobic or transphobic. That's like me saying, oh, I have black friends, so I'm not racist.
My LGBTQ friends are usually male and female and not some unicorn gender that's been made up.
In your opinion, what's the cure to our westernized kind of idea that it's okay to catcall at women and that sort of thing? What is the solution in your opinion?
What is the solution to catcalling? Certainly not walking around in my underwear.
Just want to put one quite fulsome point to you, if I may. I'm sitting here in a studio in Doha. We are in Qatar. We are arguably in the heart of the Middle East. Therefore, we are in the heart of Islam. Let me just read something to you from the Holy Book, and I want you to react to that, okay? And you can't see me, but I've got a copy of the Quran in front of me. There are parts of a Holy Book that talk about people being persecuted and killed. There are parts of a Holy Book that talk about people all over the world being killed because you are my followers. Another quote from one of the Holy Books in this part of the world talks about people being stoned to death with stones until they die. When you hear those quotes, what do you think that speaks to?
I'd ask you why you're reading the Old Testament to me.
You've had that before, haven't
Simple
you?
question.
So,
No, it's a simple question. I'm not stupid. You're sitting quoting verses from the Old Testament, thinking that I'm a moron that would think that's from the Quran. I know the Old Testament and I know the Quran. Now, can I ask you a question? Have you read the Quran?
yes.
You have?
Yes.
Yeah? So you
In English, not in
obviously-
Arabic, but in English.
In English, are you free, sitting where you are in Doha, to criticise the Prophet Muhammad? Are you free to do that?
Yes, I am. I have had
You see,
intelligent conversations with my Islamic colleagues on the very same subject.
Can someone in Qatar leave Islam?
Yes.
Is apostasy punishable?
You don't
Someone
have
can leave
have to be Islamic to be in Qatar. You can leave the country. You can come
leave
into the
Islam.
country if
No,
you are Jewish.
A Muslim cannot leave Islam. Is punishable in Qatar. The country that you're talking to me from, the country whose tower I'm sitting in, the country that funds radicalisation worldwide, the country that supports Hamas, and you're sitting there trying to take some moral high ground about issues in the world that relate to Islamic extremism, when the country and the people who are paying your wage are propagating that extremism worldwide. I've come into this building and just had to go through an airport-style scanner, and when I asked why, they said because of the Paris attacks.
Tommy,
Well,
I
the
do have
country
to
you're
move the
sitting in
debate
is
on
supporting
because
them.
I do have to
Of
move
course
the
you do.
debate on. Yes, of course I do. Because
course you do.
otherwise you and I will
You
end
don't
up
like
having...
what you're hearing.
Is the sacking of Andy Gray by Sky an appropriate response to sexism or a nation losing its sense of humour?
This is the football commentator, for those of you who haven't seen the story, Andy Gray, who said of one of the linesmen or lineswomen at a football match that she didn't know the offside rule and various other unobliging or disobliging things. Sean Massey. Katie Hopkins, do you think they should have been sacked, or have we lost our sense of humour about this kind of thing?
I think Sky Sports has completely lost its sense of humour. I think as a nation, potentially, we have lost our collective sense of humour. I think women actually don't want equal treatment. They couldn't handle it if they got it, quite a number of them. It's a tough world out there. What a lot of women are actually asking for, and you can look aghast at this, is special treatment. If you look at all female shortlists for positions, is that equal treatment or is that special treatment? I think what women need to realise is that you have to toughen up. We can't ask for equal pay. You have to be paid on performance.
Game over.